my name is Linda with Sweet Aria Decor, and I am about to make a Fireworks Patriotic door swag. So we're going to do some fun stuff. I just kind of threw this together, so whether or not this turns out, who knows? We'll see. We'll see how far we get. Bring some light in over here. Okay, so I am making this, believe it or not, that's a mess. Get that away. This is not a swag form. This was a Christmas tree. I got this as a Christmas tree from Five Below, and it actually, you can see down here, it's got the little spots for the little things to go in to make it into a tree. But we're gonna do it the other way. So I'm gonna take this off. Woo! Totally comes off. Okay. I'll make sure I have a nice big bow up here and lots of mesh to kind of cover that, but we're going to flip it around. And if you notice, I only fluffed out half the tree. The rest I left flat. So we're going to make this, basically, here we go. This is going to be a swag. This is only $5. So if you're looking for different things to use as bases that aren't expensive, try that. Okay, now the first thing I've got here, I'm going to have a roll of 21-inch mesh. As you can tell, this is not a new roll. This is just a roll of stuff I've already got. All right, but I'm going to drop it down to the floor. Here we go. So first thing I want to do is, because I got a lot of stray hairs and stuff coming out, I want to start with a nice fresh cut, right? Okay. Now I'm going to create a poof. So I'm going to go down probably about 12 inches. Okay, kind of hold that there and make a poof. I like to put my hands in here. All right, I got my poof made. I'm going to go bring this up. Let's bring this form this way. I am going to put that right in here. All right, so I got a nice big poof. I'm just going to wrap it right in here. Now, if these end up being too long, we can always trim these when we are done. But the fact that I've already made my first poof, and it's basically covering the end of the stand. Now, you could always trim that off if you wanted to, but I don't think I need to do that. Okay, so now I'm going to go down, and I'm just going to do some more poofs in here. Kind of go down one side, up the other. And then I'm going to put in some mesh ruffles with this too. But this is just a fun way to kind of use up. I'm using up extra mesh. Like, I've already cut 10-inch mesh from other projects, and I got a bunch left. So I'm just going to kind of keep going down. I'm going to try to back you guys up even further. Let me get some of this stuff. Let me get my goodies off the table here. I'm going to go put them behind me. There we go. All the goodies we're going to stick in there later. Now, I'm on a time crunch because I only have like an hour and a half to do this. So I'm going to try to go as fast as I can. All right. Making some more poofs here. Going to put all the stuff we've got. It's just going to get stuck right in here. But I'm just twisting it right between the branches. We've already got that stuff in there. Might as well use it. Use it or lose it, huh? Here we go. Kind of coming down. So I'm going down the left side right now. You can see I'm not putting anything on the right. I'm going to come back up onto the right side. I'm just working my way down, about 12-inch poofs. They might get a little smaller once I get down toward the bottom, because I want to make sure it retains that type of teardrop swag shape. There we go. To be honest, I was recently just reorganizing the wreaths in my garage, and I completely forgot that I had this tree in there. It also came in, I've got gold, and I think I've got just regular old, Christmas tree, evergreen as well. Those I'm definitely going to save for fall. You can definitely do fall swag. You can even do a Halloween. Believe it or not, we are all of us makers are starting to make Halloween. It's kind of crazy, huh? It is crazy. All right. Let's add in some poofs here. And thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. go. I was just kind of sitting there watching reruns of General Hospital, or the ones I had taped, and I was like, you know, I really should get up and do something. So that's what I'm doing. This is probably the last Patriotic thing I'm going to make before I decide to switch everything out and pull out my Halloween stuff. Because we have to get it listed on Etsy. It takes a couple of weeks for the algorithm to pick it up. And people start buying for that, like in, I don't know, some people are even buying now. So I don't want to miss the boat on that. All right, now I'm coming down to the end here. I'm going to flip it around so you guys can see. Kind of coming down to the end. I have a little bit left here. Just the tip, just the tip. Now the tip actually went all the way down like that, but it looks like a, you know what it looks like. It looks like an eggplant emoji. So I'm bending it in half because that just, that's a little much. I don't need that on the bottom of my swag, okay? Obviously it's a boy swag. We can all tell. All right, I'm going to go. This is going to be the poof that's kind of the, all right, I'm going to go. This is going to be the poof that's kind of the, again, I'm going to take, just kind of grabbing it, poofing it out. Now I want to try to kind of go, see here before where I have the poofs, I want to go between that so that they're not like lined up. I don't want my poofs to be all in alignment, you know, that would look kind of weird. So I'm going to put that piece in there. And we're going to cover this with a whole bunch of fun stuff. I've got goodies galore. All right. Working my way back up now again. Here we go. So I do have a website where I sell all my completed creations, and that is sweetariadecor.com. That's where I've got lots of goodies. I sell not just finished things, but I have ribbon for sale. I have signs, and I have wreath kits. I have 2 Patriotic wreath kits in right now. I've got one thin one if you've got a storm door, then I've got an even thicker one if you want something that's a little juicier, right? So we've got that. I also have lots of Christmas kits. I've been putting Christmas kits up. I mean, I must have, I think, at least 30 different kits available in there right now. So definitely no shortage of holidays. I've got Halloween, but I did a lot of Christmas. I go to a warehouse sale where I can buy supplies less expensively, and then I kind of pass that savings on. Here we go. Going up the side. And just finding 2 branches, putting it right between there, and then just twisting it right in here. And this is 21-inch mesh. Now this is a metallic mesh, but you can get 21-inch mesh. So I make tomato cage trees. So my favorite 21-inch mesh is stuff that is lighter weight and a little bit softer, which is why I like to use mesh from either Hobby Lobby or I will buy from Michael's for those. But if I'm putting it into a wreath or a swag, I do like it to be a little bit thicker. That's why this metallic is really nice. But yeah, Hobby Lobby's Christmas mesh, and then you get it on sale, and then you can use that year round. It's red, it's white. I even bought some Christmas patterns that I used for Easter because it was like a pastel, right? So why not? Why not use it? That's when you buy. That's the time to buy. Aww. Ingor Bacher, thank you so much. Sorry, my vision is really bad, and I've got bifocals, so I was trying to read it, so I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce it right, but thank you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Okay, this is, I'm going to go up one more, and then I'm going to put a big poof at the end. So I'm going to flip it around, and I'll show you how I'm going to end it with my poof, okay? All right. So I've got this spot. I've got, these are going to be my 2 prongs. So I've got this and this. I'm going to bring it, this is going to be a bigger one, right? Because I've got to remember to come all the way back down. So here we go. If I go like this, all right, where's my, twist, and hopefully this isn't too big. I'll take a look in a minute. No, I think that's perfect because I've been trying to cover this. So this will be behind there and you will never see it. I'm going to trim this off. Okay. Okay. So I've got these two back here. What I like to do is I'm going to bring these around. Okay, back here. I've got two of these together. Okay, there are two of these. I'm bending them together. I'm going to bend it over, not a little bit more than halfway, because I'm going to take the rest of these, the end, and I'm going to wrap it underneath around here because this is going to become a wreath hanger, okay? That's why I took two of them. Nice and sturdy. And then boom. This is how we're going to hang it. Pretty good. It's nice and it's wrapped. It's tight. I wrapped that around there about 4 times. This is two of these pulled together. Okay, and then here, so you can see this is all nice and flat. Nothing that's going to be scratching the door. All right. So here's our big bad boy. Try to back you guys up a little bit more even. There we go. All right. So now that I've got this in here, I want to add in some mesh. So I do have this I can cut, but I'm just going to try to take what I've already got and kind of put that different places. Now I've got different kinds of mesh. So this is 10-inch mesh, typically cut about 18 inches. Some of these might be cut at 10 inches because they were cut for a different project. So, okay, I'm taking one of my ruffles and I'm going to go put it, if I can get it in here, I want to try to put it underneath here. Now the problem is there's not a lot, yeah, it's not enough to work with. I can't twist that, that's not enough. So, I'm going to put it right in here. There we go. I've twisted that. Now it ends on a really cute ruffle. There we go. So how did I make that? Let me show you. I'm going to use the piece of blue here so you can see what I did. And I don't have to have one in every spot, but this is the mesh. How it, when it drops, it naturally wants to curl up. So we're going to embrace that shape. Carol! Carol, happy belated birthday, Miss Carol. Can't wait to see you, Wreath Makers Live. You're going, right? I hope you're going. You're one of my favorite people to see there. All right, and I've gathered it up, and it's now the shape of a bow tie. I curled the ends in a little bit from either side, gathered it up, and now we have a little bow tie. Okay? So I can open this up, put it in there, and then close it back up. So this is going to kind of go right where a lot of the spaces where I have attached the mesh. Okay? Now, here we go. I've got all sorts of different kinds of mesh here, so I want to make sure I don't just grab one and put one in one spot and then I don't have enough for other places. So we're going to kind of sprinkle this throughout. All right, open that up. There we go. Put it in. There we go. And any place I see little stuff like this hanging out, these are what I call my straight chin hairs. Mesh does this. This is just the nature of what mesh does. But that's why we curl the ends in, so it kind of doesn't really come out at us too much. I've got a red poof. I know this is the same material as the other stuff, but I'll show you. I've got one of these. I'm going to put in here. All right, move that to the side. I'll bring my mesh out because I really want you guys to be able to see how I'm doing this. I've got a lot of this, so this is going to be probably what I use the most. So I'm curling in from the bottom 3 times. I'm going to curl it down from the top. 1, 2, 3. Striped mesh is nice because I can follow everything on this white stripe here. That's where I rolled it, and that's where I gather it. Ooh, here we go. I'm so glad you will see us, Carol. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I mean, I'm excited to see things and learn things, but I'm just excited to see my peeps. To see my peeps. I'm kind of toying around with, I get in on Tuesday, and I'm trying to see if I can make it to CraftX, because I've never been. And it's like For you guys who don't know, Craftex, for me, it's kind of like, it's like visiting the Holy Land. Oh. Though I'm pretty sure I'll go absolutely broke if I end up actually shopping there. But they just have beautiful, wonderful craft supplies. It's, as far as the eye can see, gorgeous, expensive things. But that's okay. Sometimes it's fun just to window shop. But I am also bringing 2 empty suitcases. I might just have one change of clothes just because I want enough room in my suitcase for stuff. Yeah. All right, I'm going to put in a blue one. I have a blue one down here. I've got 4 blue ones total. So I got a blue one here. I'll probably put a blue one here, here, and then up there. So I want to stagger my blue. So I think I'm going to put in all the blues next. Carol, you're coming in on Monday. Well, check you out. You are going to be there early. You don't want to miss a second of this, do you? Are you rooming by yourself or are you rooming with somebody? I room by myself because I snore. And I don't just snore. I don't even know what you would call it. I shake the roof, the walls. The walls come in a little bit every time I inhale. The last thing I want to do is annoy somebody because I know what I do is really bad. Yes, I have sleep apnea. Am I probably going to die from it? Probably. I'm going to move this one back down. I have to get one of those Fitbit watches. Kind of monitor me when I sleep. But the last time they monitored me, they said I didn't need one, quote, yet. So we'll see. Here we go. Trying to go quickly. My daughter has a Zoom call at 4 o'clock for her therapy, 4 o'clock Central. She's not home from school yet. I've unlocked the door. Here we go. So I will see when she gets home. All right. I really like this. This blue really pops great against the red. Oh, yeah, you're rooming with Johnny. Okay, good, good. How's she doing? Hopefully she is doing well. I'm going to put this one right in here. All right, and then let me do another blue. All right. I haven't thought about what kind of theme I'm going to dress up as, if anything. I know they got like costume contests and stuff, but the theme is Back to the Future. So, we'll see. It's kind of a fun theme, so we'll see how it all goes. Okay. See how these are really long up here, so when I'm done, I'll probably end up snipping these off. But I'm going to leave them long for right now because I might use these to wrap things around. I have some fun fireworks and other things that I need to get in here. Okay. I'm really glad that I'm able to use up this mesh. I always save it and then I'm like, oh, I'll use it in something, and then I kind of never do. And I don't want that to happen. You know what? I'm gonna leave that one open. I'll put this one in here. All right. Get one of these. Here we go. My back hurts already. Of course it does. Here we go. But yes, my last patriotic thing, I think I've got so much already in my shop because I really went crazy making a lot this year. And don't necessarily want to have too much, but I'm going to be running a sale in my shop. So my shop is sweetariadecor.com. And that's where I've got a whole bunch of stuff listed. But I am going to be running a sale this weekend. I'll give you guys a sneak preview. It's going to be 25% off. I've never done 25% off my shop before. Mainly because my profit margin, I keep my prices down because I know, everything is expensive. So I try to keep my costs as low as humanly possible. So I've never gone 25% off because my profit margin is usually only about 38%. But I've got to get stuff moving and grooving. Got to get it out of the shop because I have no room to store anything else. So we'll go crazy. And that is not going to require a coupon code. It's just going to be 25% off. All finished decor. It is not going to include ribbon. It may potentially include the Patriotic wreath kits. I haven't decided that yet. Not quite sure. So we shall see if that will be included or not. Okay. Get this one in here. All right. Let's see what else I'm going to put. I think I'm going to put this last red one with the red foil, which I love so much. I did recently place an order from my wholesaler for mesh because I honestly wasn't sure what's going to happen with the whole tariff situation. So I decided to invest in some basics, some red with white stripe, and then beige. So we'll see what occurs. I think I'm going to put in one more ruffle. I'll probably do one of the red and white striped ones. And then I'll hold it up for you and you guys can see our swag. Now the swags are teardrop shaped. They are meant to be longer and narrow. Let's see what I got. I'm just going to kind of throw one in the side here. And then maybe another one kind of back down in here. I think just because I want to make sure that the top has enough support for if I put ribbons and bows and whatnot. I don't want anything to kind of be like drooping backwards at all. Okay, and again, these are probably cut roughly about 18 inches. Some of them might have been 20 because I did have one project that was a little bit fatter, a little chunkier. Okay, wish I could kind of put one up at the top, but I don't know if I can. No, I don't have enough free. Well, do I? Maybe I do. Yeah, I'll put one up at the top. I just need 2 free tines, and then I can just stick that in there, and there we go. I apologize, I'm not putting my face on here too much today. My face is nothing great to look at on a regular day, but especially today, not so hot. I got nothing good to look at. All right. All right, I'm gonna do a little. Let's pluck some stray chin hairs. Here we go. Here we go. Just a few here and there, and the rest looks like it is good to go. Okay, so here is, now we finished stuffing our swag. Here is how big it is. This is probably about 40 inches. It's about 40 inches long. And then it's about, let's check the width. At the widest point, it is about 16 inches, all right? So this one may not be girthy, but it's nice and long, you know what I'm saying? Okay, here we go. So that's that. So now we're gonna start putting some good, fun stuff in here. So I think I'm gonna start with, I told you guys I had some good stuff. I've been saving this all season. I have this set of fireworks. This was Michael's Ashland line, but I think I got this like probably 2 years ago. And then I also have little firecrackers. Okay, these came from Patriotic Decor. These might have come from my pool store, American Sale. Let me see. Potentially came from American Sale because they actually have some really cute Patriotic decor there. So I'm going to put these in. All right, so I'm going to start by removing the price tag because I'm classy that way. Yeah, there we go. Tags off. Now, the ones that are the little round ones, I think all I'm going to be able to do with those is probably just glue them in because I can't really pierce them with anything. All right, but these, I was kind of hoping I could wrap some stuff around, but I don't really see how I can do that either. The only thing I can maybe do is put some U-pins in it. See if I can attach pipe cleaner. So I'm grabbing some U-pins. Let me move this to the side, show you guys what I'm doing. Just trying to figure out how I can secure this in there so it's not going to move. Obviously, I'm going to use a shit ton of glue. That is the actual measurement. It's a technical measuring term, a shit ton. Okay. I'm going to get, let's go with some red pipe cleaners. I'm going to grab a couple of them here. All right. Let's see. I don't know if I can even pierce this, so let me see. I don't think so. Nope, I can't pierce it with a U-pin. It must be solid plastic, which I think looking at the bottom, I think it's plastic. So I can't pierce it. So I think my only option is going to be either I would have to run some wire or figure something out. So I did just think of something I could do with some wire. Let me try this and see if it's going to work. So this is floral wire. Okay. Taking a big old length here, okay? And only because there's room up at the top do I think I can potentially do this. But if I could possibly wrap one kind of, if I'm going to try to see if I can get this through these two right here. I'm kind of like flossing. I'm kind of like flossing its teeth. There it goes. It went. And now I'm going to go try to push it down a little bit past the top of this firecracker, which I don't think I'm going to be able to do. No. But it just did. Gave me a better idea. I got a better idea, guys. Okay. I'm pulling out that wire. I'm making a much longer wire. I'm talking about, oh God. I'm cutting like 36 inches of wire here, okay? I am going to add, don't worry, I will be adding glue to this, but I just want to have some kind of wire in here. So I'm going to try to line the wire up and kind of push it along in here, but I was able to get the wire between the top two. See how it went right between the top two? If I can kind of bring it in there. Now I'm going to just get my little, I have a little tool that I use that I scrape labels off with, but if I can poke this in there enough where we do not see the wire. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay. Poke it in here. Let's pull, because I need to have it come together between those other two. So if I can just poke this, trying to poke the wire in there so we really don't see it. That's pretty good. You can't see it. Now I'm going to go behind here, because this is the back of the fireworks, and I'm going to just twist it a couple times. Okay, but instead of me twisting the wires, I'm going to twist the firecracker thing, because I really want to tighten it up as much as I can on here. And now I can attach it with this, and then once I get it good and I like the placement, I will add some glue behind it. I don't want to add glue now, because otherwise I'm going to get it on my hands. I'll burn the shit out of myself. And I don't want to do that. I've done that enough. I did it yesterday. And it was not plenty, not happy. It was very painful. Okay, I think I'm going to want this to kind of be maybe like my centerpiece. So let's kind of lay this out, okay? I'm going to have a big bow up there, and I'm going to have a bow at the bottom. I'm going to have these, but then I want to figure out where I can kind of put these, okay? And then this will kind of be in the center. So I think I want this to be roughly right here. All right, so I'm just going to take my wire, and I'm not pushing it through the mesh. I'm trying to wrap it through where I've already had the little pieces of mesh, okay? All right. Again, I'm not going through the mesh, but I'm going to go wrap it behind here, okay? I still have my wires here. I'm just pulling. You can see here I'm pulling the wires nice and tight, wrapping them around. And I'm going to continue wrapping this wire until it's like one piece. And then I'm going to find my little cutters. I'm going to snip it off. Okay, so it's even. And then I'm just going to bend this back inward and bend it back in toward the inside. All right, so now nothing is sticking out in the back and nothing is going to harm the door. Okay, and I can always tighten that later if I want to, but for right now, I have other things to put in here, so I don't want to glue this yet. And I probably will eventually glue this one and that one. I think what I want to do now, though, is I want to make the bows, okay? So if we're looking at this swag like this, I want to put a bow down here and a bow up here, and I will have some ribbons that kind of cascade down, but they're going to be fake cascades. They're not going to originate from the bow. It's just going to look like it later. To me, it's easier for me to make the bows that way. So I'm going to bring over my bow maker. And let me tell you, it's going to be big, big, juicy bows. Okay, I have. Here is my red, white, and blue ribbon. That is my 4-inch ribbon I'm going to be using, okay? I also have a little left of this red, white, and blue pattern, which is the same one that I have down here in a 2.5 inch. So I just got this roll of 50 yards. This is the first time I'm going to be using it. It's like popping the cherry on the ribbon. Here we go. Oh, the plastic is off. The plastic is off. And then I have one. This is just like a Stars and Stripes streamers. Okay. I've got that. Now this one, this is directional ribbon, so I have to be careful with this, but this has some fireworks and some stuff on there, so it kind of mimics what we're putting on here. So this is going to be one of my main patterns as well. Okay. And then I do have some blue. And then it's my another 1.5. I have a red and white. Now the red is glittered, so it's nice and pretty. Carol, you're at lunch with Ginger? That's awesome. How's she doing? Is she still enjoying newlywed bliss? She's such a sweetheart. All right. I'm going to start with my 4-inch ribbon, okay? So let me take this off. Move this. I'm going to make the bow that's going to be at the top first. So this is going to be our bigger, fatter, juicier ribbon. So I want one of these tails to be coming up over the top. So I want that tail to be, I'm going to do that one at like 9 inches, okay? A 9-inch tail. Now, what I do though, if you can see here, I'm bending it over. I like to dovetail it, so I'm going to dovetail it now so that it's hitting at 9 inches. Okay. I pinch and I twist in my Easy Bows Design Pro bow maker. Why do I use a bow maker? Does that mean I'm not really a bow maker if I have to use a tool? No, it means that I've got some tendon problems in my hands and it's easier for me to use this. Crafting shouldn't hurt. If it does, find a tool to help. Doesn't make you any less. You're not any less of a woman for having to use that, or a man. All right, I'm going to be pulling this over. And now, because this was 8 inches on that side, or 9 inches on the tail, I want to make this an 8-inch loop. So this is going to be a very wide bow because this is going to sit at the top. Okay, so 8 inches there. Pinch and twist. So now I'm working on the right-hand side. I'm looking at the back side of the ribbon because I pinched it and then I twisted it. This is the back side. Coming around, making an 8-inch loop. Okay, and then I want to have a 9-inch tail, so I'm going to cut it at 9.5 because once I dovetail it, I'm taking some extra length off, and then now it hits at 9. All right. Oh, that scraping sound. I'm sorry. That's such an awful, awful sound. Okay, going up, going down, going up, going down. You see how I make an X shape here? Got the up and the down going. Okay, that's what we've got. Big Bertha. That's what I'm calling her, Big Bertha. Okay, now I'm going to put on my red, white, and blue. This is what's going to come next. And I'm actually rethinking, these two are very close to each other. I'm thinking of only using one. And I think, honestly, I'm not going to use the red one. I think I want to use this one. Which I know. I don't know why. I'm just feeling it that way, you know? Okay, so this one, let me dovetail the end. And because I started going right to left last time, I'm going to start going left to right this time. I'm going to have an 8.5 inch tail. Pinch and twist. Bring that loop over. This was an 8-inch loop. This is now going to be a 7.5 inch loop. Okay, pinch and twist on the left-hand side. Bring this over. 7.5 inch loop over here. Push it down. And now we are going to have an 8.5 inch tail. Cutting it almost at 9. Here we go. Up and down. If I don't end up being able to finish it on the live, I will go back later this evening and finish it with you guys. I've got an hour, which I think hopefully will be enough. I'm going to go as fast as I can. All right, let me move this out of the way, but I'm going to make another bow, so it can't go far. All right, now, I don't know. I'm debating. Because, see, these both have like a white background, and they're kind of similar. So, to me, that's a little too close. But if I go blue, that's already a lot of blue with the glitter. So I think, hold on, I'm going to change my mind. And I'm going to use a red glitter. I have this red glitter. I'm going to use this one instead. Put that one behind me. All right. This is a little bit thinner of a ribbon. This is what's called a mini glitter dot. So it's almost like a satiny ribbon, but once you get the glitter on there, it makes it stiffer. And we all like our things to be stiffer, don't we, ladies? Wink, wink. Okay. Hey, this is what you get with me. Sorry. Okay. 8-inch tail, pinch and twist. Bring it around. On the left, it's going to be a 7-inch loop. Pinch and twist. Bring it around. 7-inch loop. Okay, bring it over. Cut that tail off. Now it's going to be 7.5. Okay. Tail up, loop down on the left, loop up, tail down on the right. Moving along now to our other pattern. I call this the stars and streamers. Okay, I love the foil. I call this the stars and streamers. Okay, I love the foil edge on this. This is really pretty. I got this at the Craig Bachman warehouse sale. But you can try to find stuff like this at CraftOutlet. I'm also going to be having an affiliate link to MBCraftSupplyCo. That's my friend Max up in Wisconsin. He's got a ton of gorgeous supplies. Please go check him out and shop him. Okay, this is a 6.5 inch loop on the right and a 6.5 inch loop on the left. Okay, and that was, I think, 7.5 inch tail. All right. Up and down, loop up, tail down. So always in opposites. I got a loop there and then a loop on the diagonal, okay? Just think of it that way. Now, we're going to be putting on our 1.5 inches. I'm going to do my red with white stripe. Bring it around. Boy, I am trying to fly through this as fast as I can. I should have started sooner. All right, putting the tail in. Was putting this tail at 6.5. Or, okay, no, this is 7. The tail is at 7, and the loop is going to be at 6. No, you know, I lied. I think I'm going to do the loops at 5.5 on this 1.5 inch. 5.5. 5.5. And I can move my loops and kind of see where am I at. Because sometimes I can just eyeball it and be good. But other times I want to know for sure. Okay. Cutting that out. So that should be 7-inch tail. Okay. All right. And then this was tail down, loop up on the right. Loop down, tail up on the left. Now, I don't have a lot of this left. So I don't know. We'll see how much I can We'll see how, if I've got enough for that, the bottom bow on this one. I hope I do. All right. Start from left to right here. So this tail is at about 6 inches, and then we're going to have loops here at 5 inches. Because once I'm all done, once I get everything in here, this loop, it's going to suck it up a little bit. So it's not, once it's on the wreath, it's not going to be this wide. It's going to be a little bit smaller. Oh no, I'm not going to have enough for the bottom. That's okay. That's all right. That's okay, because what I can do is I will just add a strip of this, and then this will be my top bow. So I know what I can do. I should have ordered more of that. I just placed an order last week anyway. I'm such a dork. Okay. All right, so I have, this is my bow here. I am going to grab a nice big zip tie along with a red pipe cleaner. All right, I'm gonna pull it up. I'm squishing my bow down as I pull it up. I'm gonna stick this right behind, right under my finger, just ever so slightly. This is gonna go through my fingers, underneath my thumb, barely a movement. Pull it around. Squeeze! Now, not too tight, because I wanna adjust my loops here. Before I go super, super tight, I wanna adjust everything, because once you pull it really tight, it's hard to move stuff around. So let's make sure all of our loops are down. You want to have a line of sight into every loop and tail that you have. Okay. It is hard to do this with one hand in front of the camera. It goes a little easier when I'm doing this on my own. But here we go. Okay, now in the middle, I'm going to take my 2 loops and pinch them together, because that helps to hide the zip tie, and then you don't even see the zip tie. All right, this is a nice, big, fat, juicy bow. It's going to be nice and up at the top. Oh, that's going to be so pretty. So pretty. Now I want to make one for the bottom, but this is going to be smaller. Okay, a lot smaller. So for the 4-inch, what I'm going to do for the 4-inch, honestly, is I'm just going to cut There we go. I cut this. This is 8 inches. I'm dovetailing it. I'm not putting any loops on this because that'll make it get too wide, okay? So I'm just going to put this in here. I like to have red, white, and blue, so that's my red colors up. I'm just going to pinch it and put it in here like this. So I really just have a tail. You can see that that is just a tail here, okay? All right, now I'm bringing, this is the red, white, and blue that I had. All right, this time I'm going to start over on the right. I'll do like a 7-inch tail over there. All right, and then I'm going to do, I think, a 6-inch loop on either side. This is definitely going to be smaller because this is at the bottom, so we don't want it to be too huge. All right, and then cut this a little past 7. And dovetail. Boom, okay. Tail down, loop up. Tail up, loop down. Okay, there we go. I'm going to move this off to the side. I probably am going to use this for some cascades and stuff, so I'm not going to move this one too far. There, stay right there. Off to the side where all of my unsightly junk is piled. You can't see it. It's a giant mess. Okay, this one, I'm going to start from left to right. That tail is at 6 inches. This loop is going to be at 5.5. For a smaller one like this, I'll typically do my tails a 1/2 inch longer than my loops. Pinch and twist. Bringing this one over. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Loop it over. All right. Give me 5.5. Perfect. Cut this a little past 6. And there we go. All right, and again, the base of this was a tree that I got from Five Below. They also have little mini Christmas trees like this at Dollar Tree. You can use those to make mini swags. You can use those to make, I like to make centerpieces off of them. That's what I use it for. Okay, now this one needs to scoop for a second. Okay. Hey, Aria. Mommy's live on TikTok. Say hi.
Oh, hi guys. Sorry, I just got home.
All right. All right, cool. I will come talk to you later. Go make yourself a snack. Don't forget you have therapy at 4 o'clock.
Oh.
All right, go get a piece of cheese out of the fridge. Okay, so now we've got a tail at, so that was 6.5, that was 6, 5.5, 5. So this is a 6-inch tail and a 5-inch loop. Or maybe a little bit more. Maybe we're gonna call it like 5 1/4. I just don't want it to get too small where when I suck it in, it's gonna end up having the 1.5 inch be too small. So we don't want that, but we are only gonna really have 1.5 inch with the loops because of how it worked out with this one. Now what I could do is, and maybe I will, just have loops, and then these are just tails coming out, which I think that's what I'm going to do with this. So I'm just going to dovetail. I've put these two together. I'm just going to put it together, go like that, okay? Boom. That's going to be my last layer. For now, I'm going to put on the red and white striped. Left to right. It's like a 5.5 inch tail. We're going to go a 4.5 inch on this loop. Pinch and twist. 4.5 inch. All right. All right, get this out of the way. I have 50 minutes. I think that'll be plenty of time. Okay, now I'm going to put in this loop just like that, okay? And then I'll have a cute little loop. But I need to make sure that that bottom tail is twisted so that I can see both finished sides of the ribbon. There we go. Okay, I'm going to grab another zip tie and another chenille stem. Pick it up. Go behind here. Wrapping this around. If you're watching this on a replay too, I forget to a point where, hey, you know, it's going too slow, hurry it up. You can always fast forward this. When I'm editing this, I like to keep it full length because sometimes people like to watch the whole thing or have it on in the background when they're doing something else. But also sometimes people like to have someone go step by step, and I don't want to have people starting and stopping stuff if they're trying to really pay close attention. So that's why I just kind of leave it full length. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right, there is our cute little bow. Looks a little longer on the one side, so I'm going to take off a little, probably about a 1/2 inch. There we go. All right, that's going to be at the bottom. So let's go put these bows on our swag. All right. Get these over here. Ooh, got my floral knife. I wish, hold on a second. Water break, dance break. I would have music playing, except I want to show this as a tutorial and record it as such. And if I have music in the background, I can't do that because I'm trying to get my channel monetized on YouTube, which is where everything gets backed up, by the way. It's to YouTube. Okay, I'm going to put the bottom one on. So I've just got this, the chenille stem, which was behind here. I'm going to twist it. I'm going to get it centered first. Center it. And I'm just going to give it a good, like, twist to make sure it doesn't slide back and forth. And then this is the bottom because these tails are coming down. So I want to put this, I think, right here. All right, so I'm going to wrap it. It's going above that blue, the blue cruffle, because having that cruffle underneath it is going to give that support so the bow's loops aren't going to flop backwards. Nobody likes a flaccid bow. Needs a little bow agra, right? All right, and then I'm just going to wrap that around there. There we go. Just wrap the end right around the back of the swag and kind of poked it right back into the mesh. Okay? So here we go. That is our bottom bow, which means that we have this cool one. So there's a little imperfection on the back, so we're going to make that the back. Okay, so this. Now this, I think I can use a U-pin. Okay, so this. Now this, I think I can use a U-pin on, okay? So, let's try this, all right? So, let's try this, all right? You move there, you move there. But that's the back. All right, so I think I can. Oh, awesome. I was able to push a U-pin in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put a pipe cleaner in here, okay, right in the center. I'm going to push this U-pin in, and I'm going to hit it with a bunch of hot glue, okay, to make sure that it stays. All right, I'm going to go do that with the other one as well. I want to make sure, though, that it stays with that up at the top so that the glue doesn't start dripping down. Now, this clearly needs to be the back because there's an imperfection back here, okay? Make sure the front looks good. Grab another U-pin and another pipe cleaner. No, stay, stay. There's definitely some kind of weighted something in here, for sure. All right. And on this one, here we go. Pushing it in there. Putting a pipe cleaner through, and then I'm just going to twist it. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, what I didn't do before, is I'm actually going to put a little glue underneath it here, and then use the glue gun to push the U-pin down. Okay? Don't use your finger. All right, now I'm going to glue on top of it. Don't use your finger. It will hurt. It will burn you. Crafting is dangerous. It is truly dangerous. Okay, that is just going to sit there. I'm going to let those two firm up. Firm up. Okay. All right, they're going to stay right there. All right. Oh, Tammy Pack, thank you. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. All right, so I got that one bow down there. Let's go put the top bow in then, okay? While we're waiting, this is my top bow. This is a big one. All right, so we have to snip off the zippy. All right, now I'm gonna twist. Okay, now I usually have to have my right side has the tail coming down. That's how I know kind of how I want my bow to be. All right, this is gonna go up toward the top. This one's gonna be centered. All right, so I'm gonna try to put it where it's nestled, where I've got some mesh behind it. Because if I go down there, that's too tall. So I'm gonna go here. All right, just finding the path. I'm just kind of guiding. I'm holding on real tight to the pipe cleaner. Guiding it through. I maybe should have doubled this pipe cleaner. Okay, I'm going to do that, guys. I'm going to undo this. I'm going to grab another pipe cleaner because this one it's a little too tight to try to find and grab. So what I'm going to do is make this a longer pipe cleaner. So I'm going to take these two. I'm just going to twist them together, okay? You just wind it around itself, just like that. And then I'll pull it through. Make sure that's really tight. Make sure that's really tight. All right, now I'm going to have a super long pipe cleaner that's going to make it a lot easier for me to do what I was just trying to do. So let's talk path first, okay? I'm going to try to go kind of around here with it, okay? So kind of here's my path. So I'm just taking really like the top two poofs and then the one poof in the middle and going around it. Actually, I'm going to go underneath that one too. Okay. I feel like I'm trying to give this thing like CPR or something. Okay. I feel like I'm trying to give this thing like CPR or something. I'm like literally on top of it. Sorry. Or maybe I need to be alone with it. I don't know. Dang, I'll tell you that. All right. Okay. I've got both sides held in my hand behind here, and I just want to kind of push it down a little bit and kind of see where does this naturally want to go. Is this looking good? I think it's up. I think it's up high enough. Maybe a little higher because I got that little firecracker. Okay, so now I'm just going to take it. I'm just twisting nice and tight here with this pipe cleaner. Super, super tight. Right behind the back. So it has straddled this now, okay? And I am going to actually keep this wire long because if I want to take this off of here at some point and mess with it, I can still move it around and have enough stuff to work with. So I'm just going to take that and literally just kind of push it right back into the swag. All right. Let me show you. So then here's our bow. Okay, the top of the swag. This one's kind of coming over the top, which is what I wanted. Okay, the back of the swag. Let me show you. This is the loop. That is the top of the stem of the tree. You can see it's fully well covered by all of that mesh. Okay. So now we've got our little guy there. Okay, so we're going to have one of these facing one way and one of these facing the other. So this one's going to go in here. So I'm going to bring it down. All right. Now, just going to follow this through to the back, just like I did with the bow. I'm just taking these pipe cleaners, I'm running them through the back. Okay, just kind of grabbing and twisting them, and now I'm kind of twisting the things onto themselves to make one long twisted piece of pipe cleaner, and then poking that right back into the swag. Okay, so that one's on there good. I am going to hit this with some glue back here. I'm putting the glue on the actual firecracker, and then it'll go ahead and stick to the mesh. I find that it helps to actually have glue in your in your glue gun. All right, there's that one going off that way. This one's straight, and then this one is going to go off the right hand side. So let's pull him around here. He's going to go this way. Almost where this is going to come over the tail a little bit. I like that idea. But I got to have him come up enough where he's not interfering with that. So he's going to come up here. Okay. I'm wrapping his tie around there. The other side, bring it around. trying to make it through the mesh here. I maybe should have doubled this pipe cleaner too. But I feel it. I feel it. Yay! They've made contact. All right. Just gonna twist these. Twist it right on itself. Here we go. Twisting, twisting, twisting. And then pushing right back in. All right. All right, so then I'm going to go back in. I'm putting some glue on the back. So it's getting in there and it's staying in there. All right. Yay. Now, one thing I did not do yet was put any glue behind our little center one. All right, so there we go. Making sure it is lining center as I need it to be. Perfect. Oh, this is so cute. This is looking so cute. Okay. All right, now, and see, that's why I like the fact that it's silver, because you can still see little silver things and it kind of feels like it matches these, so it's not super, super obvious. So now I have my swag. I need to kind of start adding some other stuff to it. So I am going to add in some, what I'm calling some little cascades. Now, in order to do this the way I like to, I'm going to have to get my wreath stand, and I'm going to have to push you guys back a little bit. And I might probably stand you up a little bit. So hold on. We're all going to go for a ride, okay? We're all going for a ride. Hook it in onto my wreath stand, okay? All right, there we go. Now you guys are gonna come up. Hold on. Sorry, you saw my face. You don't need to see my face. It is not a pretty picture. I'm gonna ooh, 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 and then bring you back so you guys can see all the other stuff I'm putting in there. Okay. All right, I'll have you guys there. Try to bring the lights back and up a little bit brighter on that. And then I'm going to move this light over here. Bring it over here to kind of help light this up. Okay. All right. So I want to add in some more ribbons. We got ribbon up top and ribbon at bottom, but we need to fill this out. So I'm going to start with this 4-inch ribbon, and I'm just going to add some smaller tails here and there. Okay, not a lot. This one is 14 inches. All right, because again, this is supposed to get smaller as it goes toward the bottom, so I don't want it to end up looking weird. Okay. Put some stuff in. Let me see. Put in a tail here maybe. And I'm just using the twisties that are free. Just gotta find 2 of them. Oh, that one's piercing the mesh. There we go. There we go. These 2 together, and then just putting it as far as it and back in there as it'll go. I'm not adding glue or anything. I'm just twisting using the little branches. Okay. There we go. It's adding a little bit of color in there. I'm not going to add one on either side. I'm not doing a matchy kind of thing here. All right. Using another one. I'm probably going to end up using up all of this 4-inch glitter ribbon. And that's okay because I love it and I would definitely get this again. Who doesn't love a good glitter ribbon? Okay, I added one over there. So let's kind of go maybe over here this time, okay? And I can see I've got a whole bunch of things right in there. Here we go. Okay, just give it a little twist. up and out a little bit. There we go. Got a little bit coming in like that. Super cute. Now here, I want to add some cascades in first. So I think what I'm going to add in cascades in is with my 50-yard ribbon, which is this red, white, and blue. All right. And I don't think I want to pair it with anything. So sometimes I will have two of them on top of each other, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use the single one. So this one, I've already dovetailed. This is probably about 6 inches. Let me double check. Okay, it's 7 inches. I lied. It's 7 inches. So I'm going to start this up here. All right. Now I'm okay to have this kind of start poking up here, but I'm going to go in. I'm going to twist it into some branches I had up here. All right. And then make sure you can see that. The tail's not coming out too far, you can see, but it's just right here. And then I'm bringing this over and we're going to create a loop and kind of pinch it in and find out where I can go in here. I don't want it to be super deep. There we go. There we go. And I think I'm just going to use this ribbon as the only one I cascade with. Now, I could just put another tail here, but I think I kind of want to do another cascade. All right, so I'm going to kind of pinch here and see if I did it in here. Yep, right in there. Okay. Where's the other end? I'm like, I know I had 2 of them. There it went. It was hiding. It's playing hide and go seek. Okay, and then this one is going to come out, and then we're going to cut this as a tail. Okay, so I'm going to come, this is going to be a bit of a longer tail, so I'm going to cut this right down here for right now. I can always trim it down later if I want to. We're going to have it kind of like come right in here and kind of like just hang, right? It's got a bit of a hang, which is good, all right? Now I'm going to come over and do the same thing on the other side. So now this is where you're really going to be able to see a little bit better what I was doing from this side. So I'm going to put the ribbon over here. Now this one, because I have this here, I'm not going to do the double cascade. I'm going to do a single at the top and then probably one below. Okay, so again, I'm pinching. Now we're going to go, where do I have room to start this? Maybe right in here this time. Or maybe right back here. Okay, that's going to go right back here. All right. That's going to come out because then you can kind of see it. Kind of angled up. Oh, straight hair, chin hair, plucked it. All right. This one's going to kind of come down. Actually, you know what I think I'm going to do here? I'm just going to make a loop. So hold on. I'm going to undo this. Okay. Well, actually, here, I can leave it twisted. I'm going to leave it twisted once. Then make a loop. Okay. And then I'm going to twist it again. All right, so then I've got a loop, got a tail and a loop, and then this will be a tail, about that, because I don't want anything to really kind of get in the way. So this tail will kind of end a little bit before that other one starts. So dovetail it. Okay, so this way we don't have to add in a whole, let me bring this down a little bit. We don't have to add in a whole cascade, but it kind of does the same thing. I just don't want to have double cascades where it just looks exactly loopy, the same on both sides. That's a little too symmetrical and a little too weird. But see, you may not see some of these cascades when you're looking head on, but when you come at a swag, you are going to see it from one side or the other, whether you're opening a door or you're walking up toward it, and you don't want it to look naked on the sides and then like nothing up there, you know? All right, so now toward the bottom here, I've got a lot of room. Here's where I'm going to add some more loopy cascades like I did on the other side. I'm going to do it on the bottom here, okay? Pinching, twisting. And I'm going to start that right in here. Okay, I'm back live again. So I was making a swag. TikTok kicked me off because I thought I wasn't active. I am inactive usually, but not when I'm making a wreath. Just when I'm on the couch. Okay, so now we're going to bring this. I've started a tail here. And I'm going to bring this little cascade down, okay? And then I'm going to kind of pinch it. We're going to make a little loop. And it's going to kind of come in right. Trying to find the other. Here we go. And this one I can open up. I just got to put this right in here. And then retwist these little branches. So if you've just joined me, this is a swag that I've made on a Christmas tree that I got from Five Below. It was one of those $5, or it might have been $7. I can't remember. But it was, they're Christmas trees. And you just take off the little holder at the top that holds the legs. You take that off, and it turns into a swag, which is awesome. All right, we'll pull this up a little bit more. Okay, and now I've kind of made a fun little loop on that side. All right, so we've been adding in ribbon. We have a huge loopy bow up at the top. We have a small loopy bow down here at the bottom. You trim some of this. Okay, and now it's going to be time to kind of glue some fun stuff in here. I have all of this going. All right, I'm trying to make sure you guys can see this as best you can. Let me move some of this stuff up to the side here. Oh, boy. Okay, now I'm bringing over the cool stuff. What do we have to add in? Oh, lots of fun things. I got lots of picks and attachments and things with stars and leaves and glittery stuff that I have to add in really quick because I only have 20 minutes. So, okay. First of all, what I want to start working with is I have red, white, and blue of these. So these are all different leaf picks. I got these in a wreath supply box that came from DecoExchange, which was awesome. It's like a monthly gift to myself because I never know what's going to be in it, and it's always so fun. They do such a good job. Okay. So what I'm going to do is probably chunk some of these out. So I'm not going to leave these all in one stem. I'm going to kind of chunk up some of these. So I'm going to do break this kind of into like two pieces. So I've got some silvers. I have some white. See, I'm literally just going to cut this into two pieces. Same thing with this. It's a nice way to kind of get to use different products you might not have used before. And then they do have an opportunity to buy other items. They open it up after a certain time. You can buy kind of like leftover materials. So I've done that before too. Okay, so we have some white, we have some red, we have some silver. I'm going to start with adding in some white. So I really am just going to glue these in there. And how I'm going to do this is kind of figure out what I've got where. So like, yeah, I think I want to put some in there. So I'm just going to add the glue right onto the back spine of this pick. And then it's just going to go right in there and glue. All right. I've got some red. I probably want to put some red right in here. There we go. So I don't want it to go sticking out really far. I want it to kind of be more centered a little bit in what we've got here. Okay, I've got another white I'm going to put down toward the bottom. Maybe right in here. All right. Just when you're careful, if you're pushing down on what you just put in there, just don't, make sure you've got enough mesh from behind that it's not going to go through the mesh and you're not going to burn your fingers. Take it from one who knows. It freaking burns. It burns, burns, burns. All right. Now this one, I want to add maybe kind of like right in here. All right. I'll go add some extra glue in there to make sure it stays. All right, sometimes you can sandwich this stuff between your mesh and your ribbons so it kind of sticks to multiple different materials. That gives you your best chance to make sure that everything really stays nice and put. This goes this way. Sorry, I have my loops reversed. Shame on me. Okay, and then if I had that one there, I want to put the other red one on the other side. So let me add that onto here. I'm going to go putting that right in here. There. Hitting that real good with the glue gun. And then like I did before, I'm going to kind of sandwich it from the back and from the front just to make sure that it adheres to whatever it can. All right. Looking good. I have 19 minutes before I have to go. And I've got 3 more pieces. I've got 2 white and a silver. Hi ho, silver, away! Let's take a look. What do we think? I can't have white and then another white. I wouldn't like that. So maybe, but then I got silver and a silver. So maybe, yeah, I'll be okay with that. That looks all right. Hitting it with a crap ton of glue. Not getting it on my fingers. And then, there we go. Right in there. That's looking good. I do have some florals that I could put in here as well. I have red, white, and blue roses, which I may decide to put in. I'm going to put silver down here. Boy, I'm just knocking over everything that's behind me right now. Whoops. All right. Let's get in there with the extra little glue. All right. It's looking good. Now I've got 1 white one left. I've got red, silver, white. I think I got a red one there. I think down at the bottom, I know it's hard to see. Let me bring this back a little bit. I'm going to try to put this down at the bottom so it pokes out kind of from here, all right? So that's where I'm going to stick it. It's going to come out from the butt crack between the 2 ribbons. We're sticking it in its ass. Congratulations, America. It's time for your colonoscopy. All right, there we can see a little bit of it kind of poking out there. All right, I like that. I like that. I know it's very hard to kind of see how I'm doing this here. It does look a little weird, I know. You know what? Hold on a second. Okay. That piece looked a little backwards, so I'm going to go back in and put this in the other way. Same place, just kind of repositioning. There we go. That looks better. Looking better. Okay. Oh, what else do I think I want to put in here? I have some of these red, white, and blue babies. These came from the at-home store. They were, I think, $2.99 a piece. So they've got a really long stem, so I don't need quite that much stem. So I'm gonna snip it, and then I'm probably gonna put, I don't know. Haven't decided yet. Hold on. Where these can go. And I also have one of these, but I don't know. I'm not sure I want to put one of these in there yet. I think that's too much already. I think that's going to be too much already. Hey guys, I just found another red one. Found another red one, and I'm going to use it. Haha. Yay. All right. All right. Perfect. Let's see where we're going to put these babies. I think I'll probably stick a red one in there. Very exciting. I thought it had another one, but I wasn't entirely sure. Oh, with that's too high. We're going to go down here. Going down there. There we go. Perfect. Now I'm going to go in here and hit it with a little extra glue. Make sure it is adhered to the mesh, which it is. Make sure that mesh curl looks cute, which it does. One more piece of red. Where shall we go? Where shall we go? What shall we do? All right. Going right in here. All right. Yummy, yummy. All right, a couple of these little bad boys. I'm just putting glue all down that metal stem, and I'm going to try to go there we go. One's right in here. I'm going to put one on the other side. All right. I'm going to trim off. That's a lot of stem. We don't need quite that much stem. I'm leaving about a good 4 inches of stem. And also, when I glue it in, I got to remember that there's a star on the top that is front facing, so I got to make sure I'm not sticking it in the wrong side. There we go. Going a little further. Go down, go down, go down, go down, go down. There we go. Perfect. Oh, I like that. That is really, really super cute. I'm liking that. And I have 3 more of these. Trying to figure out where I want to put them. These were full price $2.99 at the at-home store. Fling, fling. All right, I got 13 minutes. Where can I go? What can I do? I'm going to do what I call a dry fit. I'm just going to kind of sneak it in a couple places and sort of see what I think. Yeah, I like that. If I could just remember exactly where I had it, that would be great. There we go. Because I don't want it to come out too far, so I'm going to try to keep pushing it in a little bit. There we go. There. Awesome. And I'm going in on an angle, okay? I'm going to go the same on the other side. I can probably actually take some more stem off. Doesn't need to come out that far. Now these, for some reason, I do like putting these in symmetrically. So I do want to have this one in. Okay, now I'm going to go in and hit that with some extra glue because I know that was a little difficult to get in there. Okay, making sure I give them a little tug after they've dried to make sure they're not going to come out. And I got one left, which I feel like I want to put down toward the bottom. I'm not entirely sure how. But I also don't want it to be upside down either. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it as 4. Because that would look kind of weird. Just leave it as 4. Because that would look kind of weird if I did that. Otherwise, it could come out there, but that looks kind of weird. It would have to go behind. That would look weird. I'm not doing that. I'm keeping that extra one out. Sometimes I shove too much in and then it looks overdone. So I'm trying really hard not to do that. Now I've got these packs of beads. And then, hold on a second. Watch my head. Watch my head. Sorry, I'm coming around. Oh, I don't have to go far. I have one. I have one. I have 3 of them right here. These are the red, white, and blue roses I was talking about using. All right. So, here we go. I want to put some of these in before I go messing with the other last minute things. So here we go. I'm going to red rose. That's not really catching anything to glue onto, so hold on. I have to change my approach a little bit. Gotta make sure this goes kind of like between. There we go. That's gonna be staying on there. I know it looks crooked because this is really longer than my table and it's longer than my wreath easel. So I am struggling right now trying to just make sure that this looks okay. All right, let's do a blue rose. And I am pushing the florals up. See the leaves around there? I definitely want to still see the leaves. Where isn't it going? Just go in there. Come on. Go in there. 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 Nope. 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 I don't want to go there. This is being very stubborn. Okay. Glue the shit out of it. And there it goes. See what happens when you just threaten it? All right, here we go. Try to get more of these florals in here. Got just a few minutes. Aria, honey, you go. You have therapy in a few minutes. 8 minutes. Okay. That's going to glue in there. I want to bring some florals kind of down here. I definitely wanted to have something kind of coming out between where the top of the bow is underneath this firecracker. There we go. Perfect. I like that. All right. Now I know for sure I'm going to have some of these coming out. All right. I'm going to put some of these long things right in here. Okay, so I kept the stem on this one really long because I am literally picking up the bow and kind of shoving it the same length as the white florals next to it. I'm just trying to kind of follow that same path so I can at least get it up there. Get it up there. All right, now I got to go add some glue to make sure it stays. Okay, I'm kind of pressing the mesh along with the ribbon so it kind of adheres to multiple types of media or craft materials in there. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side with the other set of beads. I cut them in half so I could kind of make the most out of them. All right. Oh, and I know it stuck to the mesh because it also stuck the mesh to my finger. I glued myself to my swag, guys. I glued myself to the swag. And that's okay. That's okay. Let's see what else. I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time. Why do you design like you're running out of time? I'm probably going to have to finish this on my own after the live is over, but I will have this listed at sweetariadecor.com. That is my website where I sell all my purdy-purdies. All right, so that's where you'll be able to find a lot of things, including wreath kits. I do sell wreath kits, which are super fun to do if you want to make your own wreath. I recommend doing that because it's, if you start with the kit, if you're a beginner, I've got video and instructions and lots of ways to help teach you how to enjoy our shared love of wreath making. All right, I think I want to put a white rose in the center of the bow. I'm putting a white rose in the center of the bow. I always like to put something fun in the middle of the bow, and this one needs a rose. There we go. Okay, I will keep adding items to this, but I have to stop my live for now. But you can catch me, Sweet Aria Decor. I'm on here. I'm on the face page. I design Wednesday nights at 7 over on the face page. You can follow me there. You can watch me at YouTube. I have a channel, and then you can catch me here on TikTok. I really need to get a regular TikTok schedule going. All right, but thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and I will see you guys later. All right.
And this is how the end result turned out. I did end up adding some more red, white, and blue roses, as well as some little beads in there, and it filled out everything so nicely. I'm just thrilled with the end result, and I hope you are too. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. You can follow me all over social media, and you can shop my store at sweetariadecor.com.